Michigan State senior Jackie Matthews has lived knowing that since 2012 when she survived the Sandy Hook massacre.
The fact that this is the second mass shooting that I have now lived through is incomprehensible.
We're also hearing from some of the families impacted who say they've experienced this type of tragedy before. Matt Riddle's daughter Emma survived the MSU mass shooting just 14 months after surviving another shooting at a high school in Oxford, Michigan, that left 4 dead and 7 hurt.
Having been through it in Oxford, it helped her understand what she needs to do in these situations.
The anxiety all too familiar for the Watson family. Their younger son, Aiden, hurt at the Oxford High School shooting in 2021. Their older son, Caleb, on campus during the terror this week.
In 14 months, 2 times this household has been impacted by a major shooting, and that's 2 more than ever should have occurred.
Michigan's Department of Corrections says the gunman served 18 months in prison between 2019 and 2021 on a weapons charge, raising questions about how he obtained the guns he had with him during Monday's shooting. One staggering statistic to consider: mass shootings in American schools in just the last 5 years are up 150%. Police say the gunman had no known connections to the university when he unleashed a rampage Monday night, later turning the gun on himself.
What's up? It's Lord Mav. I'm over here representing the Black Moon Pack and Black Moon Productions. This right here is a real nigga thought. I'm trying to talk about this this motherfucking Michigan State shooting. You know, as always, I try to come in and I try to say the vague shit like this shit probably fake, or even if it's not fake, it's a motherfucking ploy to take guns away from people. Now, if you smart, or if you have a mindset where you don't trust shit, you understand that it's in the best interest of the country to take away automatic firearms from the people, right? Because if there's ever any problem where the government decides, like, let's say we take it to COVID, right? Let's say instead of everybody staying in the house, everybody said, we're not staying in the house. And then you see that the government actually needs you to stay in the house. And now it's not a question of we asking you, now it's a question of we telling you. Telling people to do things becomes a lot harder when those people have guns just like you have guns, right? We love to watch movies, action movies, where the villain comes in and they're the only one with firearms, and they take a situation and they own the situation because they're the only one who can cause death, right? A gun is a deterrent. Just like you see with police. Most of the time, people don't want to deal with police or get on the police officer's bad side because they have a weapon. The weapon is the deterrent. Now, normal everyday people aren't the only people who need deterrence. The government needs deterrence as well. Because if people are allowed to carry the same caliber of firearms that the military can carry, then that means that if the military ever was to come over and try to force us to do anything, then they would have something to worry about. We understand. Now, there's a motherfucking thought process or an experiment that was played out, but I don't remember the name of it. But the experiment was basically showing, and it showed positively that a military official, or let's just say people, right? But it's mostly military. People are willing to do negative things to other people if their superiors pressure them enough. Which tells you if the experiment was successful and it showed the type of data and outcome that, you know, it said to show, it shows you that even if a military person was told to kill somebody and they didn't believe that that person should be killed, they're still going to do it. Because in a way, we know that the military is a group of brainwashed people who have been forced to believe that the people in their group are their family. The people who give them orders are basically like their parents, and they are to follow out those orders in order to protect the nation as a whole. So there's no question that if the government, for any reason, was to ever deem the people as being the enemy, that the military would carry that shit out as if the people were the enemy. So that's why you need guns, right? But the thing that matters the most, I feel, within this situation is just the act of the distraction, right? The constant distraction. And that's the thing that I just want to talk about real quick. It's the distraction of plans. Now, there's something to be said about why these things are happening. Of course, mental health might be an issue, but why is it that, one of the women said, and I'll put the clip in here, whatever. One of the women said in the last 5 years or something like that, mass shootings are up at schools. Mass shootings are up 150%. Now they'll tell you a statistic, but they don't have any why. There's never a why. Why is that happening? And this is something that I said before with a lot of things that go down in this country. They tell you what's happening, but they're not telling you why or how, right? It doesn't matter how a person gets a gun because criminals can get guns. A few months ago, a military person was brought up on charges for selling weapons to gang members. That shit was a thing. So we know that this thing happens, right? If it was happening, somehow it went unnoticed or went noticed and nobody said anything about it. But the point is that a criminal can get a weapon, right? Only law-abiding citizens have trouble getting weapons. That's it. When you think about it, only law-abiding citizens have trouble getting weapons. I know several people with weapons in New York City. They shouldn't have weapons. I have a harder time getting a weapon than they would because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm not trying to commit a crime. But you have to think of why. Why is this happening? Now, the man who supposedly shot up Michigan State University, he was from New Jersey. What the fuck is he doing in Michigan? Why is he in Michigan with a big-ass gun shooting at a school? These are questions you have to ask. It's questions that the news media and the government, they're going to hint at, but they're never going to follow up with any answers because logical situations have answers, right? If a situation is spontaneous, then you would see it spontaneous, but it probably wouldn't be a situation where a person from New Jersey made it all the way to Michigan and shot up a university, right? It's a little bit too, it's in a way, there's too many factors into that story to say that it's a spontaneous thing. But this is what they tell you all the time, right? Adam Lanza is at a school. I don't think he went to that school, but he's at a school shooting at children. Why? What's the purpose? What's that going to accomplish for him? Is it a thought process that people just go outside with the intention to harm people? The only people I see going out here doing shit that's going to harm people is the government. It seems like the government wants us to think that everyday people at any moment might just lose their mind, go grab a gun and go shoot at everybody. If I give you a gun right now, in your worst state of mind, are you going to go outside and try to shoot at a whole school full of people? And if you say you don't know, then you need to be the motherfucker locked up, right? Because these other situations don't make any sense. Fucking so-and-so next nigga. I can't remember all these niggas' names. The nigga that's Dylan Roof, these weird name niggas. What's his problem? He made it all the way to a church and shot up them people? He don't know nobody at that church. Did he come past that church before? Why was he there? We don't get answers to these things. Or we might get a manifesto with somebody saying, oh, I wanted to go kill people. I'm racist. This is what I'm doing. Shit don't make any sense. We just had a story of a few black cops, 5 black cops or something, beating up a black man. And they showed us the video, and they showed us the people, and they said they got suspended, but they never gave us a why. And now the story is gone. There's no more story. So what we get is a bunch of distractions to distract from real shit. Now, what I'm looking at is these chemical leaks that's going on all around the country, and the biggest news site to talk about it, which is the news site that everybody says is a fake news site, is Fox. Fox is the one talking about the EPA or whoever going in and basically setting fire to a chemical spill and telling the residents that is nothing wrong with the situation. Telling the residents that it's safe to come back to where they live. That's what I'm seeing. From people like ABC, I'm hearing them talk about UFOs. It's all a distraction, man. And even if it's real, look up MK Ultra, right? Look up sleeper cells. These things are not fake things. These are real things that people turned around and made stories about, right? It's not fantastical. It's been fictionalized in a way. But the act of saying you have somebody who has been made to do something because the government and other people in line with the government, more specifically scientists who study the brain, they studied the brain and they understand how it works. Once again, the same way that an advertisement can flash a couple things on screen and it'll make you subconsciously want to buy that thing. We understand how advertisements work, but you think that's the only level of manipulating a person's brain? You don't think it goes deeper than that? I don't know if this shit is real, but at the end of the day, it don't matter if it's real or not. Because one simple thing will stop this shit. Schools are only meant to get people enough skills to go to work. It doesn't teach them anything that's going to enrich their lives in any way. It's only going to help to get them more money. So if you really want this shit to stop, what you do is cut the school nonsense out and allow people to just live their life. Never heard of a mass shooter when everybody was farmers. If people are losing their mind and there's a reason for it. Motherfucking Lord Mav. Real nigga news. That's a real nigga thought. I'm out. Peace.
Niggas hit you with that anesthesia, put you to sleep, bruh. You know it's the killer nigga woods where we creep, bruh. You know that my ninja they good, push like a Jeep, bruh. Catching niggas for days, no rest, Mav the Reaper. Muscle memory in my cells, clap like a sleeper. Swim through money, I need a cell, these rivers deeper. My niggas got bonds, no better when shit go heater. Hammers banging, we bleed, your bodies everywhere, FEMA.